Hello everyone, Mirjam here with Practical Astrology for you. This is just a very quick update video on Boris Johnson. Before we jump in, I would just like to say thank you to all my subscribers, to everybody who has supported my channel so far, everybody who liked and shared and commented. I do hope that I will be able to update more in the future. It's just a lot of change going on right now, so I hope that will be sorted out, and I would love to post more content here on this channel for you, so that you can make progress in your interpretation. Right, let's just have a quick look at Boris. So this is an update to my previous video where I kind of predicted that Boris is not going to resign, although many people from his own party, many MPs from his own party wanted him out, but the stars were not so sure. And it looked like that he was going to keep his position. So, and right now the situation seems to, like the planetary, the cosmic situation seems to mirror exactly what is going on right now. I've put up his chart, so that's this inner wheel. Inner wheel is his chart, outer wheel is the current transits as of today, 25th of February. And it's super interesting because you can see Jupiter is just now in an exact trine to his midheaven. Yeah, that's here, 12-13 degrees. And so Jupiter midheaven, that is a rise in popularity. That's the classic, yeah, the classical aspect for someone being popular or becoming more popular. Obviously, it's a transit, it's not a natal constellation, but someone becoming more popular, approval rates going up, gaining people's favor. So his recent decision making, I think, plays a big role, and I think he's made this decision because he felt if he wanted to keep his position, then he would have to change his narrative, and we can see that because Jupiter rules his third house natally. So it's a change of like communication, so telling people what people want to hear, being more optimistic, being more open and being more positive. You know, it's like the announcement of the end of restrictions. So that is a Jupiterian, if you want, a Jupiterian kind of let's move on, let's move forward. So things are much better now, or things have improved. So we can open up and we can progress, and we have a more optimistic outlook towards the future. So that's what he said, and he put an end to restrictions. And it's interesting because Jupiter also, he kind of survived the opposition to Pluto here. Pluto that rules his sector of value. So he might have felt like, oh, if I don't do this, if I don't do this, I might be in danger of really losing my position, my foundation. There is no more. His place would really be at really a high risk. We can see that because Pluto is connected to the second house as a ruler. So it probably felt like, right, if I don't make the right decision now, then I will be overpowered here because I'm going to lose people's favor, and also I have to question my beliefs. Jupiter Pluto is very much about beliefs and convictions. So he had to voice that. He had to communicate that. So that was probably quite a big challenge, but Jupiter made it out of the opposition, and that might indicate that in doing so that he actually did face a lot of opposition, be that like within himself or like actual opposition within his party, because there are many who don't believe in him anymore, who don't have this conviction that he is the right person to take the country forward, right? So it probably took all his courage and all his his skills as a communicator. We know that he has he's a journalist as well, and he knows how to communicate. He's good at wording things, so he probably had to really draw on his all of his skills in order to make it in order to pull through, and just also make this decision and stand by his decision. Because as I said last time in the previous video, this Saturn here in Pisces and also opposing Uranus, it's a very weak Saturn. It's like, yeah, your principles, yeah, wishy-washy, yeah. So it's probably not so easy for him to really stand by his principle, at least not in a practical sense, really showing that, really expressing that. Now Jupiter is moving into the 6th house very soon, so it's leaving the 5th house, and that may be the time when it's no longer the time to bask in glory. Jupiter leaves the 5th house. So right now he's getting, you can see that in the press, you can see that, and as people talk about him, discussions, political discussions, that people actually are really pleased that he was able to just make that decision to take the country forward and take the country out of restrictions, like give the green light, and that was what was expected of him, and he delivered. So people are really pleased that he delivered, and that is what this Jupiter trine reflects right now. This favor of the public. Okay, they say, okay, if he continues down that road, maybe we're going to give him one more chance. So that is what he's feeling right now. He said, thank God, I'm safe for now. It looks like I'm safe, at least for now. But then Jupiter here very soon is going to enter the 6th house, and that means he will also have to show through his actions and his everyday communications and his politics, not just one big announcement and that solves it all, and that is like the message of the messages. This is more about really showing an effort, showing that he really means what he said. And maybe there will be another a couple of reshuffles within the party or whatever's going on, but there has to be some practical expression. He has to follow up on his words. He really has to take action and put in place these measures of improvement, and that really show we are moving on from the situation. We are not still staying stuck or even going back to old restrictions and misery. It literally caused people incredible misery. So things are getting better, and he has to show through his work, literally his work, his daily works, the 6th house. He has to show that he really means what he's saying. And that's very interesting. And Jupiter is also trining natal Jupiter, so he'd probably be he will show some skill. He will do well, I think, sussing out what the people want to hear and need to hear. Also just align himself with public opinion. This is also about opinion, probably. And if he can find the right road, the right way of presenting himself. It's also the third house is about how you present yourself through your language, your whole demeanor. And so if he can align himself with the way that is that gives him, that helps him continue down this path where he said, we are moving forward, we are we really want to make a big improvement now, and we can't do this if we keep perpetuating, this, over the past 2 years. Can't continue like that. Now it's a new mindset. We really have to shift our mindset, and we have to set our sights, towards growing the economy again. Also Jupiter, if he talks about all these opportunities, if he keeps talking about opportunities of growth and improvement, and also taking into account like what people's feedback as well is also super important, especially as he's a Gemini. Gemini is all about asking questions and exchanging information and getting feedback. So as long as he keeps his eye on that, I think he'll be doing fine, especially with his sextile coming up. I would say he will not lose his seat anytime soon, and maybe we will see a comeback of his more familiar rhetorics. It's interesting because Saturn is approaching very close now, approaching the trine to his natal Mercury. So maybe we will see the return of his more familiar rhetorics, which is like just talking, finding that like realignment again with the way he used to present himself, because he had just changed a lot. His like really green, I call it green speech. His green speech and everything is not really what where he's coming from, as a libertarian, and it has to do with his values as well. I think Saturn for me is also about just Saturn Mercury is about really saying what you mean. You can't really there is no way out of if you feel like something is absolutely not true, is not what you believe in. It just shouldn't come out of your mouth. It just shouldn't. I think Saturn is really, this warning, like be very careful what you say. So it's like a reminder to him, like, don't fall back into that trap maybe of trying to convince people of something that you were never convinced of in the first place, because that just comes across as false. So Saturn always wants to do it right. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope that there's going to be some honest communication. I think that's also a Mercury Saturn translation, just honest and communication, honest communication, and is exactly what is needed right now, so that people can actually at least have some just really believe in, after all these lies and Downing Street party scandals, that people can at least have a minimum belief. Okay, right, now this guy really means what he's saying, and maybe he's trying to make amends, and maybe he's realized there was a big mistake to try to mislead people, or just allow others to mislead him as well. So I think Saturn is like this inner critic and teacher that says, right, watch your words now, really watch your words now. So I think these transits in combination with the Saturn and the Jupiter, they look quite positive for him, and it looks like maybe he can really get his act together and continue down a better path. It certainly is not a bad thing if the Prime Minister of the country is under really favorable Jupiter and Saturn influences, because it probably means that he'll be more aware of what is really happening in the public. You know, Saturn and Jupiter very much the indicators of social process in society, and so maybe he will realize, you have a greater awareness of what will work and what absolutely won't work anymore, because he will not have people behind him, not in his own party and not the general in public. Neither one will be supportive of him. So I think his instinct will be quite good right now in terms of understanding what the people truly want, in which direction they want to go, and what he needs to do accordingly. And hopefully that will help him to just stand up to those who keep, dragging, just digging their heels in and trying to just keep everything, still stuck and never-ending measures. And I think he understands, if he allowed that, then that be him just packing his bags. He wouldn't stand a chance. So I think he really had to do this, and I think this was really a lot of pressure with a Jupiter Pluto. I must move on, because otherwise I will lose my foundation here, and I probably won't get it back. There was no chance to recover that. That would be a big loss. Right, so that looks pretty interesting. Let's see if my prediction continues to be on the right track. I hope you enjoyed. As I said, I'll try to post more frequent updates in the future. But thank you so much for your support so far. Also, as you can see, you can actually see me now here in the corner, which I think is also a progress. Made some technical progress as well, slowly but surely. So as always, please leave your comments, likes, and share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video, hopefully very soon. Bye bye.